Good morning, everyone. Topic of today's discussion, building wealth through real estate. And today we're going to get us started a little bit early. We're actually currently piloting, starting the training course at 8:30 instead of 9 based on some feedback that we've received from people. Sounds like starting at 8:30 might be easier, so we're going to give it a try today, see how it goes. And if this works, we will continue going forward at 8:30. For updates, as always, I'll be posting them up on social media. Any changes, if we do decide to make this a permanent time slot, I will be posting it up for everybody so that they know going forward. Today's topic, building wealth through real estate. 2 points that we want to talk about today. Again, this is going to be a very brief introduction to the subject. We've briefly gone over this in the past and specifically looking at what types of property that we want to be investing in. Things that I look for in properties when I'm investing, specifically being real estate that cash flows. I'm always looking for cash flow, depreciation, and appreciation. For me personally, any investment that I make has to have those three targets. And it has to be able to achieve each one of those three in order for me to be looking at it as a viable investment. And I think that specifically to people here that are watching that are in the real estate industry, real estate agents, I think this is a very important topic, and it's something that if you don't know a lot about, you really need to study up on because of anybody in the world or if anybody in the business industry, I think we specifically should definitely be leveraging real estate investments as additional streams of income because it's something that we know. It's an industry that we understand, and we can use it to complement our current real estate agency business. And again, forming those multiple streams of income. And like we've talked about before, side hustles and things like that, the goal is always going to be bringing in additional businesses or different subsets of your business that complement your main source of income. As I've said before, we do not want to get stretched so thin and working in so many different avenues that our main source of income or that main business that's profitable, that's bringing us the income, we want to make sure that we don't neglect that business because, again, that's what's going to be supporting everything else. So I always encourage everybody in whatever space that you're in, if you want to diversify out, it's always smart to diversify within your sector so that each company complements the other. So the first point that we're going to be going over today in building wealth through real estate is going to be strategies for diversifying your real estate portfolio. Number one, invest in property types, different types of properties. You're going to have multiple property types in your investment portfolio, and that could be residential properties, commercial properties, vacation rentals. I know some individuals that are in the farm and ranch, vineyards, avocados, anything, hay, anything that's going to be around that real estate business and specifically something that hopefully you understand. But again, making sure it's under that real estate umbrella. Diversification can be beneficial for many reasons. And one of the main ones being there's always going to be a fluctuation or a shift in markets. And having diversification can help offset that. So ideally, if we're looking at the residential market, if there's a dip, we're hoping that the commercial or vacation rental or residential rental space will be offsetting that, could be booming. So it's going to make up for the lack of one sector versus the other. Even in different industry types, specifically like commercial, there are many different subsets of commercial. Could be manufacturing properties, industrial, retail space. Again, you want to focus in that sector or that space that you know, that you understand, so that when you get in there, you can be able to make those pivots if necessary. So again, diversification, not diversifying out, like I'm saying, stock market, real estate, but diversifying in your space and getting multiple real estate types as rental properties within that real estate umbrella. The other thing that you can do is looking at areas, diversification for areas, exploring out of state properties, different markets outside of your own for growth potential. There are always shifting markets, different areas and demographics within the United States that are growing, that are changing. People are moving from area to area. So it's always good in the rental space to know other markets, know what markets are growing, know what markets are forecasted to grow, so that you can make those shifts and have real estate in each one of those markets, again, to benefit or to strengthen your portfolio in case of any sort of downturn or softening of one market when people move from one area to the other, you're ready or you're able to pivot into that market. The other thing that has been growing in popularity over the past few years, and it's something that I participate a lot in, and that's syndications for passive investments. For anybody out there that's looking for true passive income, syndications can be a phenomenal source. Now, I do always caution people to do a lot of research on your syndication, understand them, know which syndication you're working with, do a lot of research on them, their solvency, how long they've been in business, their operational team, their wins, their losses. Look at their entire portfolio to see what properties they specialize in and if it's a good fit for you. There are so many syndications out there, and a lot of the way that I choose my own syndication that I work with is going to be based on their alignment with me, what they're looking to do, the returns they're looking to get, and the type of areas that they're pushing forth. Does their vision match my vision? I currently participate with Cardone Capital. I participate with about 4 different syndications. I like Cardone Capital. I like their model. I appreciate their conservative nature in their investments. And again, it's an industry type, it's a syndication type that matches my own investment strategies. And I would encourage anybody that's looking to get in that large scale syndication space. If you're busy and you don't want to manage the rental properties yourself and you want to get into those larger properties that are outside of the area, kind of a more turnkey investment, I encourage anybody listening to look at Cardone Capital and see what kind of properties are out there and see if it's a good fit for you. As always, there are advantages or disadvantages tax-wise in dealing with syndications. So I always encourage everybody to speak with your accountant or your CPA to make sure that fits your own personal tax strategy. The next point that we want to look at is risk. In any real estate investment, whether it's your own investment, whether it's a syndication, residential, commercial, whatever it may be, there's always going to be inherent risk in the investments that you're working on. And you want to make sure that you minimize that risk through education. In the end, risk is simply lack of knowledge. The biggest way to offset risk is to understand your market, understand the investment, the pros, the cons, the highs and the lows to see if it's a good fit for you. You want to conduct a due diligence on every investment that you make, even on syndications. A lot of times I see investors get a little lazy because they almost put a lot of the due diligence portion on the syndication, which again, that's their job. That's why you're working with them. But just because they're doing their own due diligence doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing yours as well. Look over their numbers, review their numbers, ask questions. Don't be afraid to contact the syndication that you're working with and say, how did you come up with these numbers? Or maybe I disagree with these numbers. Can you shed some light or some information on how you came up with this? Again, we always want to be reviewing everything that we're getting involved with to make sure that it fits us and that we are comfortable with that investment. There's never going to be an investment that we just put our money into and we just go on autopilot and say it's taken care of. It's up to us as the investor to do our due diligence just as much, and in some cases more, than the individuals that you're participating with. And that even more goes for investments that you're going to be managing on your own, whether it's a small version rental properties, duplexes, anything that you're managing 100%, or even things that you're working with your property management company. Do not rely solely on those other entities to do the work for you. Be active, be involved, and again, ask questions. The big thing that you're going to want to do is learn how to analyze transactions. You're going to want to learn how to get into the weeds of the numbers. If you're going to be putting your money into these investments, you've got to understand how they work, how the cash flow works, how the debt works, so that you can make an educated decision. And that's something that I'm always going to be focusing on, whether it's investments, whether it's running your business, whether it's helping your clients. The key word is educated decision. That again is how we minimize the risk, is by educating ourselves. When working or moving from our main business into the investment space as that secondary source of income, we again always want to focus on having cash flow for ourselves and having what I call that storage fund or that financial cushion to be able to manage market downturns. You're going to want to be solvent and be able to make that pivot if the market does trend downwards or even trend upwards. If it's going to trend downwards, you're going to need to have cash to maybe put into those projects. Or if the market is trending upward, you're going to want to have a reserve of cash to be able to both deploy out and acquire more investments. Either way, having cash reserves is going to be critical to you being able to withstand the positives or the negatives or the changes in general of the real estate market. The big thing that I want to leave us with, and this is a big point that I think is very critical, is avoiding over leveraging. We want to maintain healthy debt leverage ratios. Now, that can look different for everybody. So that's something that you're going to want to investigate for yourself to determine what level of debt you're comfortable with. I see investors a lot of times that say, hey, I don't want to leverage my properties more than 50%. I have investors that don't want to leverage more than 65%. And I see some that go all the way up to 75%. Now, there are general rules of thumb that investors use for leverage depending on the property type, the cash flow, the possible appreciation, and the overall market trends. But again, you're going to want to establish a baseline of comfortability for yourself, depending on the property types that you're looking at, to say, I'm not going to over leverage my investments by X amount. For me personally, I try to not over leverage or get involved with properties that are leveraged more than 65%. And there's even some investments that I've gone into that have leveraged a maximum of 50%. Again, that's just my cushion. That's what I'm comfortable with in looking at investments. And it's number for me personally that I'm safe with. Different people might have stretched that out again based on their comfortability with the property, based on their awareness of the market and their overall aspect of where the market trends are going. But again, that's something that you've got to study and you've got to be comfortable with on how much you want to leverage yourself on those properties. So to wrap up today, building wealth through real estate, this is again a very surface course, a very surface material, but it's something that I want to put out there to get you guys thinking on, especially you individuals in the real estate market, and how you can leverage your knowledge and your skills in the market to be able to build out those additional streams of income. Wrapping up, again, we talked about strategies for diversifying your portfolio, residential properties, commercial, vacation rentals, and then also balancing out risk and reward in your real estate investments and trying not to get over leveraged. But the overall theme for the discussion today, again, is education, education, education. Know what you're doing, know the product, know the process, and then don't be afraid to go out there and start getting those investment properties, taking a little bit of risk and reaping the reward and the benefit. We're going to wrap up today. I wanted to open up in case anybody has any questions. We are currently streaming right now through multiple sources, but I believe the only one we can communicate through right now is Instagram Live. So I'll give anybody some time to add any questions or comments to that. And as always, if you review back on this material and you have questions or you have different items on here that you want me to expand on for you, I'm more than happy to do that. Please contact me and I'd love to get a hold of you, talk to you about this, and expand on some of my experiences or hopefully wisdom that I've gained along the way on how to tackle adding in rental properties to your portfolio. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Again, I like to keep this at 15 minutes to be respectful for your time. And I want to wrap up with saying, as I always do, that Lisa Copeland and I are rapidly expanding in Central Texas. We are looking for real estate agents to bring on to the team. If you're a real estate agent here in the market and you're looking to take your business to the next level, if you're looking for a team that's based on a foundation of educating our agents and supporting our agents and helping them grow to success, then contact me, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to help you. And I'd love to see how we could get you guys on the team and get you on your path to success. And on the flip side, if you're not in the real estate industry and you're looking to get in the industry and you don't know where to go, it can be confusing. Reach out to me. I'd love to help you out and get you on that path to success as well. As I always say to everybody, the goal for these calls is we want to be the best of the best. I can encourage everybody to go out there today and give it 125%. 100% is not going to cut it, my friends. We've got to give it that extra effort. We don't want to be good. We don't want to be great. Our goal is we want to be the elite. Again, we want to be the best for our clients and for our community. And doing so, I guarantee, my friends, that we will get ourselves on that path to financial freedom and security. I'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.